Okay. Let's try this. Let's try that. Okay. Good now. Good now. Hello, everybody. Today on tomorrow night, what looked to be early on the season, possibly a flex game, is now looking like one of the hottest matchups weekend. Oh, and with the Vikings on a 5-game winning streak now, up to 6-4, going up to Denver against the Broncos, who are on a little win streak of their own, notably beating the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs in their little win streak of their own. So this is gonna be the battle of the two hottest, or could be arguably the two hottest teams in the NFL right now. So to preview this amazing Sunday night football matchup, brought on it brought on Mecha. Welcome, Mecha.
Hi, thanks for allowing me on the show, man.
Of course, of course. So, just to like start off, just to introduce yourself to the people who don't know. How did you get into the Denver Broncos? How did you become a Broncos fan? So if you don't mind explaining for the folks. I mean, I know like me and like some other people, no, but like for the general audience.
So yeah, where to start is where it all where to start is where I'm trying to think of right now because basically, my dad's side of the family was initially born and raised in Michigan. Roughly right
Mhm.
around when he was like in middle school or whatnot, he ended up moving out to Grand Junction, Colorado, and
Oh,
yep, he moved out there. And I don't remember exactly where the Broncos used to have their practices, but they had my dad actually went to a few of them during like training camp and all that. And
mhm.
he my dad's basically he was born and raised a Lions fan, but when he moved out
Oh,
to Colorado, it was when John Elway was playing.
that makes a
So
lot of sense. Yeah, and the
so and
line.
he was wanting to root for a winner. So
Yeah.
trying not to throw shade at the Lions, but
I mean, in the 90s, the Lions were, they had Barry Sanders. I mean, they
that's
weren't
true.
that bad. So, you know, but yeah, I get it. You want to root for a little bit of a winner and all that. So,
Yeah.
so
And then eventually my dad moved back to Michigan and then he moved to Iowa. He met my mom there and then they had me. And my dad kind of was still more of a fan of the Broncos. And so we
mhm.
would watch the teams with them. And uh, pretty much I just watched them and I just pretty much became a fan that way. I was kind of like a casual fan of the team. Like I didn't really have it. Like I was rooting for them, but this is going to be kind
Yeah,
of embarrassing to say. But when Tim Tebow became our quarterback,
yeah, Tebow.
I became a super fan of the team, and all because of
Yeah,
Tebow. I'm just
yeah,
like looking back on it, like the dude won. The dude was winning. He wasn't.
he was winning.
It was he was horrible, but he won. And you know what?
Mhm.
That just made me a fan. And then obviously, more guys moved in there. Demarius Thomas. Uh, that's why I got this jersey. He's one of my favorite players of all
Oh,
time.
yeah.
He's just a super nice guy, and I just had to root for him. And obviously, Peyton Manning shows up, and
Mhm.
it was amazing. But yeah, but I've
Right.
been rooting for the team
Yeah.
since like Jake Plummer was our quarterback. But I didn't become like super invested into the team until Tebow showed up.
Until Tebow showed up, and that was an
And also,
amazing
I
run.
almost lost my fandom because of Josh McDaniels. So
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
hated
Yeah,
that guy. I hated him.
ah,
And I think it's any
yes.
Raiders fans in here could probably, they know.
Yes, Raider fans, even, maybe even anybody who was under him. Even maybe Patriots. I don't know if Patriot fans hate him too. I don't know.
I don't think they hate him as
But yeah,
much as Bronco and Raider fans.
yeah, that's probably the case. And that's Super Bowl 50 was like how was that just that whole experience because that was your first that was your first Super Bowl for
That
your
actually
and you
wasn't. It
what?
wasn't. I was born for the first two.
Oh, you're born for the first two. But like
But
you
this
know
will
what I
be
meant.
Super Bowl 50 would
You
have
know
been
what
my first one that I actually experienced when I wasn't,
experience.
Goo Goos and Gagas when I was,
Mhm.
less than one. But
Mhm.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
Super Bowl 50. That was interesting because I not gonna lie, I was having a lot of PTSD about Super Bowl 48.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm sitting
Super Bowl
there, I'm like,
48.
oh no, it's gonna go the same way because I know how this is. But
Right.
the moment they started the game and Peyton Manning started under center, I thought we
Mhm.
had a chance.
Right, he started
But
sending the ball. This time didn't go over his
yeah,
head,
and just fly straight over.
Right, and it's sort of two very contrasting teams. You have Super Bowl 48, of one the best offenses, and then you just a couple years later, now then you're no, then you win a Super Bowl because you have one of the best defenses. So that
Yeah.
is that's very interesting. And now, of course, we have this from the Super Bowl 50. You haven't made the is it true you haven't made the playoffs since that Super Bowl, right?
We've only had one winning record since then.
Oh,
And that was
yeah.
the year after the Super Bowl. And we probably should have been a playoff team that year, but didn't
Mhm.
happen, didn't play out that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
So, yeah. Sorry.
oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I know the pain.
Yeah. So now we're many years up later. Is that sort of, comfort level, you win a Super Bowl, it's okay if we don't win a Super Bowl for, however X amount of years. That has I'm guessing has now passed in terms of, hey, I will, get back into this now. I'm
Mhm.
assuming.
Yeah, it's kind of knew the moment we won that Super Bowl, we weren't probably going to make it back for a few years, which,
Hmm.
I accepted that. We won the Super Bowl. I'm happy for next few
Yeah.
years. But then eventually, when you continuously lose, it just starts getting, like, are
Right.
we like, what are we doing here? We should
Yeah.
start going back and all that. And it just kind of, ever since we really won that Super Bowl, it
Mhm.
just feels like every single decision that the Broncos made was the wrong one. And I know
Yeah.
even like
Oh,
Perna has a video that literally points them all out. And the one that actually upsetted me the most was us not getting Kyle Shanahan. That one upsetted me the
ooh,
most. And
yeah.
because you see what he's been doing with the 49ers, the 49ers are basically,
Right.
doesn't matter who's at quarterback, you can throw somebody
Exactly.
in there and it works. I'm
It
just like,
just works.
man, if only if we could have that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and of course, I'm assuming that really, especially with the Chiefs now, when they won their first, then when their second Super Bowl. I mean, their first one was when they beat us in Super Bowl 4. But now that their recent success, I know that's probably a little bit now. That's sort of now a little bit part of wanting to get back into it. So, but
Yeah,
you finally beat the Chiefs.
it
So,
took way too long for that to happen. I'm happy that we finally got the win, but man,
mhm,
I'm just like, come on. We've had, what is weird about us against the Chiefs, it's one of those, we've always played them pretty well.
yeah,
There's been a couple outliers where they ran us off the field, but it's
right.
like, we were so close so many times to beating them. But when you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, it's just so hard to, you know,
Mhm,
get that last stop. heck, even there were times where we, beat ourselves. We had the opportunity
Yes.
to win, and it just like, oh, DT just couldn't, haul it in, or we
Mhm.
just throw a pick at the wrong time. It's always like, it was just always like, like those are the losses that make me more upset. I'd rather get blown out than lose so closely, because at least I know we're
Same.
far from it. Because it's just like, we're just right there. We're right there.
Right there, right there. And, if we're going about this season, there's been, or if we're going early in the season, I mean, for both of our teams early in the season, there was some games that were just right
Mm-hmm.
there for the taking. Of course, when I think about the Broncos, the most notable one, I think about probably that
Yeah.
Washington game. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, Hail Mary, and then you don't get the 2-point conversion. I mean,
that
there's
was
just so
holding,
many.
and they know it.
No, I mean, yeah, and with the Vikings, that's pretty much any of their losses, even with the Chiefs or the Chargers, for example. So I'm sorry we didn't beat those those teams for you, but yeah,
It's
I
fine.
mean,
Don't feel down about it.
it's yeah. And then of course the biggest down earlier in this season was after that Washington game, you know, Miami drops a big old 70 on you. And so at that point where you just like, pack it up, we're done, all that, or
I felt like that with the team. So I'm not a person who believes in tanking. I think tanking
mm,
is absolutely pointless, because if you don't know how to build a team, there's no
yeah.
reason for you guys to just suck just to get a quarterback. To where, do you even know, are you going to build this guy, build around this guy and give him success, right?
Mhm,
I mean,
yeah.
like, look at how who's I'm trying to think of like the perfect example. The Browns. Like, they've drafted guy after
Mm,
guy after guy,
yes,
and
the
none of
list
them
just goes
panned
on.
out. They traded
Exactly.
they traded the farm for Deshaun Watson. Look how that's turned out. It's just,
Exactly.
you just have to build around the guy. And that's why it felt like, and you also got to play to the guy's strengths. That's always
Mhm.
been my biggest issue. Because when we had Drew Lock, we had Pat Shermer as our offensive coordinator, and this guy did not even play to any of Lock's strengths. Lock is a mobile guy, and he used like bootlegs and all that stuff. It just,
Mhm.
man, it bugs me that way. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no, after that Miami loss, it felt like it definitely felt um like they were gonna pack it in, and I was like, okay, because my only hope for the Broncos this season was just to have a winning record.
A winning record, yeah.
I just It makes me feel better because now we've actually kind of turned the corner. We're starting to win
Right.
more games, and yeah,
Exactly.
it's I just like to see a winning record. I know a lot of us fans were like thinking playoffs and all that stuff because we got Sean Payton. It's like, dude, I'd
Yeah,
just be happy with a winning record. I'd just be happy that way.
winning. Yeah. I mean, you never know. I
You
mean,
never know.
AFC though is very competitive.
Yes, it is.
So you got that one thing working against you. But I mean, do you see this team maybe in the next coming, like whether next year, the following year, maybe contending for the playoffs, or do you maybe see this year if you keep on this high rise, maybe you can make the playoffs,
Yeah.
sneak in that seventh seed.
I mean, of course, I think the next, let's see, because who do we play after you guys? We got the Browns, Texans, Chargers, and Lions. So
Mm,
not easy, not easy.
not easy.
Um, but if we could get out of, that 5 game stretch, like 3-2, I think we could possibly make the playoffs, and it would make me feel a lot better for the following season. But right now, it's still a toss up. I know we just beat the Chiefs and the Bills back to back. It's like, is this just we got away? Was it fluky wins, or is
Right.
this meaning that
Because
we're finally turning a corner?
right, because with the Buffalo game, um, we know Buffalo has been on a little bit of a slide as of
Mm-hmm.
late, and of course, they shot themselves in the foot at the very end. You missed the field goal. There was a penalty on the Bills, and then you get the go-ahead field goal to win. But I still think overall that was still a very impressive win. Even that touchdown. Oh my gosh, that toe tap touchdown.
Oh, that was amazing. I did not think he got it in. I was like, oh, Russ just threw it away, but it was like, oh, and
Oh
then
yeah,
saw that replay, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a touchdown. How did he catch that?
I know. And I think
Unbelievable.
yeah, and I believe in these last two games, if I remember correctly, I think you've had like in terms of your defense, had like what,
Mm-hmm.
nine takeaways in this last two games, and against two, high end teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is very impressive. Um, I mean, I know there. I know, just deviate going back, like after the Dolphins game, you're thinking, did this defense, man,
I'll
fire.
Oh,
Or not.
I was hammering because I'll be honest, when I heard that the Broncos hired Vance Joseph to be defensive coordinator, I know there was a huge thing when Sean Payton got hired on that he was wanting to bring back Vic Fangio to be the defensive
Mhm.
coordinator. And I was like,
Yeah.
I think the only reason he hesitated on coming back was because George Payton is still our GM, and he has some,
Mm,
obviously, because he was the guy he fired him, and so I figured
yeah.
there's still that resentment to the Broncos solely because he was still there. And I thought after the season, I was thinking Vance Joseph was like a 1 year hire. He was just going to be hired just to control the defense for the year, and then they were going to get rid of him, bring in Fick. But honestly, I'll be honest, Vance Joseph's turned this defense around. I don't know how. I'm amazed, and I don't know what
Mm,
happened in that. What he changed to do it. I think one of the things is that I think they're starting to go a lot younger because we got rid of Frank Clark, we got rid of Randy Gregory, and we got I think we got rid of one other guy. I can't remember. But they started going younger. They were using a lot more of the younger players, and maybe that's one reason. They're young, they want to win versus just being here for a paycheck. So, that's something I'm very happy that has
yeah,
turned around. So, and I'm just amazed. 9 turnovers in 2 games. Like
that's good. That is
that's I'm shocked that I didn't pick up the defense in fantasy. So I do have Dallas. So
yeah, yeah, yes, I agree. And yeah, so it's gonna be and your defense this week, we'll probably taking a little bit of a sigh of relief after today, with the news of Justin Jefferson not going to be playing this week in Denver. I know it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like a chance. I'm not sure. Last I checked, there was like going to be like a chance of like a little rain. I'm not sure
I don't
if that's still
know.
the case anymore. Uh, it's looking like a chance. I'm not sure if that maybe how much that will have
Mm-hmm.
an effect. But um, yeah, yeah. So um, yeah, but there's still a lot. So how do you think your defense is gonna? I mean, fair. I mean, I know it's probably gonna be a little easier now, but of course, we haven't had Justin Jefferson for 5 weeks, and We've been 5-0 without Justin Jefferson. And now you got to face Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, um, KJ Osborne, who is going to return.
Okay.
And of course, and of course, the hot pastronaut right now. Um, and so, I mean, what do yeah, you think how they're gonna plan for this in your opinion, or how do you think this is gonna go?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I think we just played you guys in the Bills. Because think about it. Josh Dobbs is a very mobile quarterback. So is Josh Allen.
Mhm.
They have a nice receiver. I mean, it's not Steph, Jordan Addison isn't quite Stephon Diggs yet, but that's going to be your type
Yeah.
of receiver. And then, of course, you got, I believe it, Dalton Kincaid, right? Was that
Yeah.
Bills? Yeah, Dalton Kincaid. He's a nice young receiving tight end, but you got TJ Hawkinson. So he's going to definitely be a lot better, a much bigger threat than Kincaid was. But, and then you
Yeah.
also had you got Osborne, who's a hard runner, but kind of like how Cook was, which I think, knowing Osborne a little bit, he's got a little bit of some butter on his hands. He's not known for he does known for
Yeah.
fumbling the ball a couple of times. So it feels like we kind of already
Right.
played you guys,
I.
but I think we're playing. But
Mhm.
the skill level of each different guy is different. So like Josh Dobbs, maybe not quite as good as Josh Allen. He's been excellent since moving to you guys.
Yes.
He's been excellent,
Mhm. I
but he's not
agree with
quite
that.
like Josh Allen. But then you got a really good receiving tight end in Hawkinson, but not
Yeah.
quite as good as a receiver in Addison. But a very veteran present in Osborne. So I think we've might have a good chance at it. But let's not forget that despite all those turnovers the defense got last week, they did also give up pretty easy and quick touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
And
if
what
we can
was
if we can take that
yeah.
film that we got from the Bills game and fix up on it, I think we can play a lot better against you guys. But of course, that's to see. So
Yeah. I totally, yeah, I have those same thoughts. I definitely recognize, little weak spot. The only passing in terms of the air was to
yeah,
Kincaid, and Kincaid was one of their um, leading
receivers.
receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that we're going to be focused. I feel like our game plan is going to be a lot of TJ, like just like how we against the Saints, where it was a lot of TJ Hawkinson focused, especially with no Justin Jefferson. I feel like it's going to be a more TJ Hawkinson esque game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, we'll incorporate Addison and others. Alexander Madison, of course, I don't think I don't think he's gonna play. I know he's in concussion protocol. I didn't check if he was out or not, but I mean, the run game for us has barely been existent, but at least but now with Josh Dobbs, at least it's more
You have the
present.
threat of him
So
running as well. So
right. If we still had Kirk Cousins, that wouldn't be the case. So that's the one thing I am appreciative with Josh Dobbs. Not as good of a passer as Kirk,
mm-hmm.
but his mobile ability is definitely a game changer, in my opinion. So um, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, Alexander Madison is questionable. Got it. Okay.
Oh, he is okay.
So yeah, he is questionable. I just want to make sure to check. So I don't think he's gonna come back, especially Jaron. Yeah, Jaron Hall's who's out. I mean, different concussion people, go through concussion protocol. Different, faster, slower. You know, yeah. Okay. So, in regards to other side of the ball, if we're talking about the last couple years, you get Russell Wilson, and it wasn't just Russell Wilson in the whole. It was just the whole offense in general was just not flowing, and of course, a lot of that was one Nathaniel Hackett. In my opinion, how have you seen this offense now from Nathaniel Hackett, Sean Payton? Um, that change has been in Russ's progression and all that from last year to this year.
I will for that. I would say Sean Payton. He's an experienced head coach, and I think one of the things you want as a head coach is a guy who understands like what your quarterback does best. And it felt like when Hackett was our head coach, it just felt like he didn't know, he wanted to turn Russ into Aaron Rodgers. And obviously Russ is nothing like Rodgers, except for maybe a deep ball, but Russ is more of a mobile guy. He likes taking the shots deep. And I just don't think Hackett ever, he never played to that strength of his. It just wanted to be, you're going to be in the pocket and you're going to like it or not. But when Peyton finally comes here, we're finally seeing some rollouts to the right where Russ does his best. I mean, give him enough time and he'll find somebody downfield. But he's also kind of hone him in a little bit, be like, okay, we're not going to let you be, your vintage self. We're going to pull you back a little bit, but we'll still let you do that. But you're not going to do it as much. And I feel like, they've decided to go heavier on the run versus what Hackett did. It felt like Russ did throw the ball quite a bit when Hackett was the coach. It just feels like it's a night and day difference. I know week 1 against the Raiders, it was 16 points, the various curse of 16, which that hurt. But when the first half of that game, it felt like we were watching a completely different team. They were moving the ball down the field. They scored on the opening drive of the season, right, which was it was heaven on earth for that first half. But, there's still some growing pains with this team on offense, but it does feel like they are improving. And also that another thing is that they're actually closing, they're getting touchdowns when they need it.
Yeah.
I would like to see them still score more on the off script stuff and not at the end of games where, I'm sitting there just breathing and all that stuff. Just come on, can we just score some points? But no, I feel like it feels like it's definitely a night and day difference now as opposed to last year.
Yeah. That's good. That's always good. And I would say, for your team, Cortland Sutton, and he's definitely one we have to look out for come this Sunday. Not as much. I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more from Judy.
Judy, yep.
Yeah. So that has been a little. He did get it a couple against the Chiefs, 50 yards touchdown. But I feel like it's been a lot more. We should say Cortland Sutton is that number 1 receiver
right now. Yeah, Sutton is easily the number 1. He's your jump pass guy, 50-50 balls down the field. Judy is supposed to be more of your route runner. He's the one kind of like a Tyreek Hill. He's supposed to, break ankles and stuff like that and get open. And it just felt like we've never found a way to utilize that, even to this year. And I thought Judy would actually break out this season finally because they got Sean Payton. I thought he would
Yeah.
maybe take over the Michael Thomas role of the team
Oh,
because I would say if
right.
anything's like that, he's the guy who gets open quick. Thought we see a lot more of that. We haven't, but I still have that hope for him because I don't think he's on his 5th-year contract yet. But did they? I don't remember if they picked that up or not.
I don't know.
They did. They did pick it up. So
Okay.
he'll still be on the team next year. So I would like to see him at least. I would like to see him be utilized more, use his route running abilities. That's like why we drafted him in the first place. If not, I much rather would have gone after Justin Jefferson, who's the best
Mm,
receiver in the league.
okay. I like to hear that. Um, yeah, yeah. I 100% understand that, and I mean, yeah, and oh, what was I getting to? Yeah, in your run game, with Javante Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, I think I mean, he's been pretty good. Especially these last 2-3 weeks. So, um, so this offense, I feel like is getting a lot more. It's a lot more. I don't know what's the word I'm trying to use, but
More efficient.
a lot more efficient. Thank you. Uh, so not so unlike last year. So
Oh yes,
um
yes.
yeah, but yeah, of course this weekend, uh you're not going to be playing against an Ed Donatel defense. You're going to be playing against Brian Flores defense, who has been known, at least this year for the most part, had been a very blitz heavy guy. uh do you think that will how you maybe adjust to a possible more of a heavier blitz type defense, in your opinion, or how you usually guys handle that?
I will say that's going to be that's probably going to be one of our biggest things to figure out this week is the blitz. I'm
Hmm.
not very confident in our pass protection, but if that's I think one thing that we need to do better at has been pass protection, but it's
Mm,
also hasn't been as bad as I think it is.
yeah.
We do need to figure out that blitz pickup, and that's another thing that's really been, I think, Russ's uh biggest downside is passing against the blitz.
Hmm.
It just feels like he holds onto the ball too much. But another thing is that when I watch that, sometimes it just feels like none of our guys get open out in the out deep and all that.
Yeah.
It's definitely something like that. I would say would be the biggest thing to watch is the pass protection when it comes to
Okay.
blitzing and all that. Which I'll be honest, I did not think the Vikings defense was going to be all that good this year, but they're actually been quite a nice surprise,
Has
especially after
been a nice change.
yeah.
I
Because I
think.
thought it felt like you guys lost a lot of guys this off season. It just
I
felt like
mean,
that
we
because
lost.
like every time I heard like, oh, this former Vikings now like Patrick Peterson going to
Mhm.
Pittsburgh, and it just felt
Yeah.
like a lot of guys were like leaving. I'm just like, I don't know. I was like, the Vikings, their defense ain't gonna be good, but no,
I
they've
don't know.
been surprisingly good, and I'll tip
They've
my hat
been.
to them.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh man, if we would have had Brian Flores last year
Oh yeah,
with these guys, man, we could have made a much deeper run than losing to the Giants. I mean, um,
Actually, I'll be
Still
honest.
probably maybe would not have beat the 49ers. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, that's I was really wanting the Broncos to go after Flores
yeah.
after they hired Peyton. I was like, who's gonna be our defensive coordinator? I was like, there's Brian Flores. I mean, well, we could take him. I'd much rather have
Mhm.
him over Vance Joseph.
Right,
Um, but
right,
yeah,
and
but like I
the
said,
Vikings.
I'm excited to see what Joseph can. Hopefully, he can continue it. But yeah, I was really wanting Flores. So
And of course, we can't look at your stats because those are very overinflated because of that one Miami game, unfortunately.
yeah.
Um, but the defense has been looking better as of as of late, and the
Hmm.
Vikings actually are the 13th ranked defense in the NFL. Shockingly, I did not think they would be a upper half team by any stretch of the imagination in terms of
Yeah.
defense. Offense, I think offense is I think it's top. I think it's 10. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but off the top of my head. But yeah, they are up there as well. So, but it's just nice to see actually have some hope again after the start of this season for both of us, and now we're sort of rising uh back up. Um yeah, I mean, in that and the crowd, for Denver, I imagine is going to be it's I mean it's going to be loud and have you ever been have you actually and you never been have you been to a Broncos game by any
Never been the
chance?
one. Never been the one.
No.
The nice
I
thing,
know you
I
went to been to stadium, right?
nope,
Like outside the
never been there.
stadium one?
Never been
No.
there.
Wait, I thought you went to Denver.
Okay,
No?
so my sister moved to Denver, and I took a photo of
Okay.
it as I was heading to the airport because I only was there for like half a day because I had to drop my sister off
Oh.
and then immediately had to leave. I would have
Got it.
stayed there had I had, but my sister literally had to. Her and her boyfriend had to go straight to work. Uh,
Mhm.
once they once we got there, so I had to fly out. But now that she's there, there's definitely a higher likely chance I'll be going to games now. Now that she lives there and I
Ooh,
have a place to stay, so
that's good.
I would like
That
to hopefully
means
go when the team is good, but
hey,
we'll see. We'll see.
hey, they're doing okay right now. Maybe they will get that above 500 record. I mean, there's an outside chance it could happen.
They're good.
Um, it could. I mean, or it could just, I'm hover right now when I look at your schedule, I'm hovering around maybe 9-8 seems I'm leaning more toward 8-9 right now, looking at the schedule, but
Mm-hmm.
9-8 is definitely in the realm of possibility, especially if you beat us.
Yep.
Um, this Sunday night, with everything, with all the factors, and I don't know who you guys have. Oh, that's the one guy you have out. Ben Powers, right?
No, I believe Ben Powers. He should be playing. Let me
Or
check.
no,
I
or
thought
I,
I believe you're thinking
he
of our.
was no, or no, he was DMP the first 2 days, so I don't know if he was. Let me see.
According to our injury
Uh,
report, the only guy who's not going to be playing is PJ Locke, our safety.
okay, because I know Ben Power. The first 2 days he was DMP, but I wasn't. I didn't check. I didn't check Friday, so I
Yep,
thought
the one
maybe
that
he
just
was
came
gonna
out
be.
today. He was limited, but he's not designated as out or questionable, so he should play. I knew he was. Yeah, he
Oh,
didn't practice.
he's not even designated as questionable.
Yeah, He's got nothing on his game status. The only
Wow.
person on our is PJ Locke, which thankfully Kareem Jackson actually is coming off of his suspension for a very questionable targeting call, but it is what it is. So
Mhm.
that's nice. We'll at least get him
Yeah.
back. But I'll be honest, PJ Locke, he's been a surprise this year on our defense. Another young guy who took over. He got that game sealing interception on the Packers. So
Yeah.
yeah, so but
That's good.
glad that's
I
one
love
thing I
that.
would say that was one thing I was worried about with this team was our safeties. But now since Jackson's coming back, he can, we at least got something there. But of course, not having him long, our depth is not that great. So
Yeah. So, what is your overall? I guess I don't know. You don't have to give me a score if you don't want to, or just your overall, you know, prediction for how this game is going to play out.
I didn't really ever really think of it that much, but I do feel like this is gonna be a game, and I know we've been in the mod chat. I know how you feel about the Vikings, but I think this is another one that's gonna go down to the wire.
Yeah. Well, with every Viking game, it comes down to the wire. They don't like to just win
Yeah, they
comfortably.
don't
They
they
always
don't
have
know
to
how to
give me a
close out
heart attack.
games.
No, don't know
That's
how to
one thing
close
about
out
being a
games
Broncos
comfortably.
fan. That's one thing about being a Broncos fan. Me and you, there's one thing we can relate to. We do not know how to
Mhm.
close out games.
Never, never. It's like,
Never.
okay, we're up 27-3 on the Saints. And then, oh boy, oh my gosh, now it's coming down to a
Yep, here's the
game.
comeback.
Here's a comeback coming in. Here comes a Hail Mary to try to tie it up. They don't get it.
hmm
But still, it should not, like stuff like that should not come to like that when you're up by that
Yep.
much. So
Oh man,
it's
that game
okay.
against our game against our second game against the Chiefs this year when we actually won it was actually one time we actually closed out a game
Yeah.
where we could see victory formation very early and not be like, oh, last second, here we go, kind of like how we did against the Bills.
Right. And talking about not closing out game, the last time we played each other
Oh man,
was here, up 20-0,
I oh
and
man,
and you just blew that away.
that
I'm
was
like
oh man. That
I'm
was
like
not a fun game. I was like, wow, we're doing really well. And then it just, here come the Vikings. And like, what are we doing? The granted, Brandon Allen was our quarterback. Okay.
that's true.
So the fact that we got up 20-0 was impressive. I was very
Mhm.
impressed. But that actually, what year was that? Was that,
Well, it was 4 it had to be, like, 4 years ago then, so that would have been 2019, right? Because we
was
play
it?
each other every 4 years.
Yeah. Was that, I
Um,
was thinking, because was that, I'm trying to remember if that was our first, I think that
uh,
was rookie year with Drew, because I've found, hold on.
yes. Okay, so I see 2019. I remember Adam Thielen was actually out with an ankle injury that game, so, um,
19 draft.
Diggs
Yeah,
still takes
I think that was
Diggs
Locke's
is
rookie year, and he couldn't play because he got his hand injured in the um preseason.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm looking at this now. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Allen had himself didn't have so too bad of a day, but then Kirk just goes in the second half and they would just
Yep.
tear it up with Diggs and Kyle Rudolph. Oh, blast from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Tune. But I
Yep, it
and
was that
I
year.
and I thought I was never gonna see a comeback like that ever again. And then last year happened.
Yeah, then last year
Um,
happens.
yeah, so so you're off the you're off the
Yeah, we're
hook
off the hook now.
with that. Yeah. So But I know I stopped in between. We're going through how this game. I don't think that's how this. It's not going to be like that. I mean,
No, it
you never
could
know. I
be,
know we
but
can't close game. None of us can really close games, so it could be
mm,
like that, where one of us gets up and then we come back. But like you said, this is going to be a tight game, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm guessing.
I was
You
I
think
would say like score wise, I'm not going to predict who's a winner because
oh,
I'm terrible at that. But I feel like the score is going to end 24-20.
24-20.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, 24-20.
I
I
feel
like
I
that.
I because I could see either team winning this game, and I'm a very honest fan, but
Mhm.
I could see either team
Yeah,
winning 24-20.
I try to be that as well. I mean, I have this as a one score game as well. I don't remember. Let me see. I had this. I had this almost exact same. I had 23-20. So I
23-20.
think
Okay.
this will come down to maybe a game-winning field goal. You know, and I know kicking up there in Mile High can be both good and bad at times. So depending on the conditions. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, and I think a player we that we have that you used to have on our offensive line, Dalton Reisner.
Oh
Do you
yes,
know
Dalton. Yep.
Dalton? Yes. So he won that job, so that's why we got rid of Ezra Cleveland. So you're going to be seeing
Yep.
him. Um, and you're gonna be wearing. I saw you're gonna be wearing the blue jerseys,
Yep. The all
so
navies.
like that. I mean, that's nice. But which jerseys do you think you like? The orange jerseys, the white jerseys, or the blue jerseys?
I
The
will say
best.
this is because it's purely nostalgia. I do like the new color rush, the new helmets. I do like that one, but I will say, this is just purely out of nostalgia. I love the navy blue jerseys with the white pants. I just it's was we won our first two Super Bowls in that. Primarily the first jerseys I ever
Hmm.
watched the team in. I do have a nostalgia, and it feels like when they switched over to Nike, it just the way the navy blue looks with the orange just looks nice. I know I'm wearing an orange jersey right now, but uh I just really like I just like them. It's always been a favorite of mine.
That's
But
cool.
I
That's
do
really
think
cool.
I do think the Broncos are in need of uniform upgrade. We've had these same ones
Yeah.
since literally the year I was born, and it just feels like maybe changing it up. I like the uniforms, but it does feel like we need a change.
Hmm. And of course, with the stadium, I did hear
Mm-hmm.
about this. You installed a new grass field for this. If this is gonna be the first time, it's gonna be during the season. They installed it during the bye week, apparently,
Yep.
and the first use of it is gonna be this game on Sunday night. So I'm just saying, if anything happens, I'm blaming you guys
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
for that. So
I mean, you could do that, or you can
I
blame
mean,
Perna. I mean, it's you have
oh
perfect
yeah, blame
any
Perna.
excuse.
Yes,
You have every
any
excuse.
excuse to blame Perna.
Yep.
So,
But no, actually,
but it is a
I will say, I'm actually after the team got sold, obviously after the trust, sold the
oh
team.
right, yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest that I will say our new owners now, granted, this is their second full year, I believe, as owners of the team. They are actually, they're spending money on the team. This is actually
Yeah.
the second time that they bought a whole new, like they spent like I think it was like $250,000 just to replace the field. I believe
Hmm.
I might be over exaggerating the numbers, but yeah, and also they're upgrading our facilities. And this upcoming offseason, I'm just like, I'm happy. I'm happy to see that they're spending money on the team, which wouldn't surprise me. And I know there's actually a lot of controversy on where exactly they're going to possibly place a new stadium at. A lot of fans really want to keep it towards the downtown area, but I've also heard that they possibly might move it out towards the airport. But I'm hoping even though I've never lived in Denver, keeping it close to downtown, I think usually is better for the actual fans in town.
Right.
But also wouldn't be surprised if they move it out to the airport for more of the people on the exterior to get there. But I'm not from Denver, so I can't really put my 2 cents in it. So
That's good. I mean, even though, you're now basically the Walmart
yes.
team.
Hey, we got that Walmart money, man. We could just we can overspend on head coaches, and unlike the Raiders, we can actually like afford to fire them. That's surprising that they actually canned McDaniels. I thought he was going to be there to the end of the season, but
I thought that
when they're going to be paying 3 head coaches at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see. But anyway,
it's definitely going to. Yeah.
They're still paying off. They're still paying Gruden.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that 10-year, $100 million contract.
Hey Pepper, how's it going?
But yeah. So I mean, the rest of your AFC West, with Chargers, Brandon Staley, Raiders going through their own debacle right now. So really, I mean, the Chiefs are still going to be a pain in your butts as always.
As long as I would say as long as Reed and Mahomes are there, they're going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah. So now you know how I felt with Aaron Rodgers
and Brett Favre.
And Brett Favre too.
You guys did have that one. You guys did have that 1 year in the 90s that you guys were really good. Remember that Super Bowl we were supposed to play?
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there. I had to get that.
I know.
I will say that is
Super Bowl that should have been.
Yeah, the greatest Super Bowl that never happened.
Against one of the best offense. I mean, you had Randy Moss and Chris Carter, and you had Randall Cunningham.
That would have been a great Super Bowl. That would have been a great Super Bowl.
That would have been a great Super Bowl, but we just never got it. Do you honestly, I mean, it would, of course, have been a great matchup, but do you think you would have still won that Super Bowl, or
it would. I still think we could have easily won that Super Bowl, but oh man, it would have been a lot closer than it would have, obviously been when we played the Falcons. So, yeah. That's that's definitely the Super Bowl that should have been. High flying offense versus. It honestly could have looked almost kind of looked like our Super Bowl against the Panthers. Our old aging quarterback where we had to lean on the run game, and versus a high flying offense of that year.
Interesting.
I think that's possibly how it could have gone. Might have been a lot better because we didn't have the best defense that year. It was still a very good defense, but not as good as our, obviously the no-fly zone. But yeah, that would have. It would have been a lot closer. It would have been a lot better game.
I know. I really wish that Super Bowl would have happened, but I'm always grateful that you did beat the Green Bay Packers in that Super Bowl the year prior. So at least I thank you for that one.
Hey, we kept Favre from having a second ring. So
That is always a good thing. Of course, I wish Favre would have gotten a second ring in a different time.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that didn't.
that one. Oh, that one had to hurt probably the most.
That one, I mean, I wasn't really alive for that 98.
Obvious. Yeah. I keep forgetting you're a lot.
So
You're a lot younger than me.
yeah. So I was alive for the 41
Yep.
donut against the Giants, for example. I think that was like, but that's still 2000. That was 2000, where I was born. So,
Mhm.
but 98. I would imagine that one still probably hurts a little bit more than the one against the Saints, just because I think with that 98 Vikings, 15-1, all that generational talent. Not to say that the 2009 Vikings didn't, weren't special in their own way. It's just that 98, it's like once in a lifetime,
Mhm.
because I think every team at that point who won 15 games and made the Super Bowl, and won it, if I wasn't mistaken, at that point. Of course now, but then of course then that sort of maybe started the trend of other 15-1 teams
Mhm.
not doing so hot.
Yeah.
Um,
Were we?
but
I was thinking. I don't remember what was our offen- What was our record that year?
it was definitely high. I think you had the number
Oh, no, that was not.
one. I think you had the number ones. Oh, you're
We had the
14.
one seed. Yeah, 14-2. That sounds right.
That sounds
Because
just about
we were
right.
pretty much
So,
unstoppable for
mhm.
most of our regular season. And I think I remember we lost to the Giants and then one other team I can't remember off the top of my head. But we did. But that was TD's 2,000-yard rushing season. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
So
man, that Vikings team was so good, so good.
it
It's
was-
just unfortunate the unfortunate end to it.
I know, I know. So
But yeah.
yeah. This, yeah, and I don't know. What do you think? I know it's not with it, about your team, but what do you? I like to hear from other people your thoughts on how you think the Vikings. You looking from an outsider, um, how you think the Vikings are gonna. What you think they're gonna be doing? What think they're gonna be doing, how they're going to be the rest of the season. Do you think they got a, chance at, I mean, I've said they have an outside chance, they of maybe catching up to the Lions, but um I don't know what your opinion on the Vikings is from
Uh,
an
uh,
outsider
honestly,
perspective.
looking at the rest of your guys' schedule, you guys definitely have a shot at making the playoffs without because where do you guys stand?
Yeah.
Because you guys currently stand you're 6 and
We have
4, right?
yeah, we're 6-4. We have the seventh seed right now.
You do okay, oh, so you guys if the season ended, you guys make the playoffs. Okay. Yeah, you
We
guys I
already
think you honestly with how really weak the NFC is this year, outside like the Eagles and the Lions. I know there's I'm blanking on other couple good teams this year, but yeah, you guys definitely have a chance to make the playoffs. I mean, after your game against us, I mean, you got the Bears, the Raiders, and the
Mhm.
Packers that you can are definite wins for you guys. But you got 3 games that are
Yeah.
also
And now
very, very
the
hard. And the
Bengals, no, with
Bengals and the Lions twice.
No Joe Burrow. No Joe
That's
Burrow.
true. No Joe Burrow. So yeah, like outside of the 2 games against the Lions, dude, you guys, I think, could definitely easily make the playoffs. Oh,
So
we'll
could
have
you
to, and
say that?
honest, as with that being said, though,
Yeah.
I'm very interested once Justin Jefferson comes back, how good your guys' offense could be. But
I'm wondering that too.
with that also being said, are we going to see continued success with Dobbs, or will he kind of start regressing a little bit after, people see the Vikings offense? But looking at you guys' schedule, you guys, outside of maybe the Raiders and definitely the Lions, there's really not a defense I don't think that can stop you guys. Because if your earlier game against the Packers say anything, you guys can score on them. So,
oh yeah,
I don't know. I think you guys got a good shot. Now, once you get to the playoffs, that'll be a different story.
yeah,
Because you'll have to either deal with the Eagles, the Lions again for the 3rd time in the year, the 49ers again, who will be definitely looking for revenge on you guys after you guys did beat them pretty handedly.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Those are like the 3. Honestly, those 3 teams I just list off are I think the best teams in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a chance for you guys. There's definitely a chance.
Yeah,
and I would say, but really, it does come down to Josh Dobbs. I think it really comes down to him. See if he continuously improve, or if he might regress. Because there's a reason why Josh Dobbs was a backup for Cleveland, but he's definitely been a pleasant surprise. We'll have to see if he can continue that.
Yeah, I'm excited about the possibility. It's a good situation for us to have, because if he does do good, and I know Kirk wants to come back next year, and we also have Jaron Hall, our rookie. That's going to be a very interesting situation for next off season, but I'm not thinking about that right at this moment. I'm just looking at now and see how far we can go. If you guys were in the NFC, I think you would have a shot at making the playoffs. But because of having to be in the AFC, I can't really see that as likely. But I definitely think in the next year, or maybe a year or two, I think with if your team continues to improve, I think you definitely Chiefs, as I said, Chiefs still always going to be there, and probably still going to be the favorite to win a division every single year. But if you make it in as a wild card, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you make it as a wild card in the next year or 2, and hopefully, and then just getting back to playoff football.
Yes,
because I know that's something been wanting so much. So
you don't know
I
it.
definitely think in the next year or 2, make it.
Honestly, I will say, I know
So
you're saying
yeah,
playoff football. I just want to see a winning season. I want to see more wins than losses. That's all I'm asking right now. That's all. If there's one goal for the season, just winning record. Right. That's all I ask. Winning record.
yeah. I mean, I can definitely see 9. I can definitely, when I look at it, I said, I'm leaning more toward 8 and 9, but 9 and 8 is still not out the realm of possibility in my opinion. Now, of course, I really am hoping that if you can beat the Detroit Lions, even though that's a big order to ask for. If you wouldn't mind, maybe getting one of those other upset wins again. I know you've been on a little bit of a streak here.
Yeah. That I think would be, honestly, that's like, I would say if we get to that point with let's see, that'd be so we got this game, Browns, Texans, and Chargers. If we can get to that game, hopefully 3-1, I think that will be like the real test of like, hey, if we can beat the Lions, this will be the momentum that the team needs going into next season. That or that could be like, hey, we beat the Lions. We have just the Patriots, Chargers, and Raiders left. We have a chance to maybe go to the playoffs. But that all depends on what the record is going into that game, which is I just want to continue to see this team like make nice improvements. As in, because like, if you would have told me before the game against the Packers that we would have won 3 straight games, I would have laughed in your face. That's how down I was after that Chiefs loss.
Yeah.
And especially after, we got Sean Payton. He made those comments about Hackett in the offseason, which, I mean, let's be honest, everybody else would have made those comments, but it was a coach. And it's just like, oh no, like everything that could have gone, it backfired so hard. I'm just like, come on, can I just get something? Can we just go 1 year without it feel like we're just falling apart?
And the Jets scored the most amount of points they had in a game that this season in 31. And you know how bad that Jets offense is. So, but hey, Nathaniel Hackett went all out for that game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, we will see. Indeed, and we will see who will win this primetime Sunday Night Football matchup, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Did you think at any point that even early in the season that this game's going to be flexed?
Oh yeah, I thought this game's going to be one of the first ones flexed. I was. I'll be honest. I remember when the schedule came out. I was like, we're playing the Vikings in primetime. I was like, that's not. I thought that was going to be the average afternoon game, but no,
right.
But hey, it could be a good game. It could actually be a good game. I did not. I would have told you after like week 5, like this. Why is this Sunday night? Like everybody would have been complaining about it, but no, now it's for something. It's actually for something.
It's actually for something, and it's I was thinking this is probably gonna be the first one's flex. I'm getting ready. This is gonna be. I'm just hearing. Looking at Tree. Tree's video the next week. The Tank Bowl.
Oh yeah, I was like, this is Tank Bowl.
This is Tank Bowl right here, baby, because we're 2 very bad teams now. We're rocking. We both have good win streaks going on. So yeah.
I mean, just look at us. Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
We're doing good.
Who would have thought of this? Not me.
No. Man, thinking you could get back to 500 possibly tomorrow.
You guys will be right at a spot if you guys win. I don't think you guys are going to win, but you guys are right. Hey, we got to get the trash talk in somehow.
I know. I mean, I feel like we both earned it at this point. So, I mean, especially you.
Yeah.
These last couple games. So,
so how badly after we finally beat the Chiefs, I wanted to go off on the Chiefs. That was there was pent up frustration for years. To finally be able to talk trash again, because I'm like, they beat us 16 times in a row. I can't say anything. I just have to sit there and just see all the photos and all that. But man, no, you guys are in a perfect spot too. Like if you guys win this tomorrow, there is a chance you guys can win the North. And it's gonna be you and the Lions.
I like it. I like that. I like that. I was hoping someone would say it. I was hoping someone would
I thought you
would
guys
say.
I
I
thought
feel
you
like I'm.
guys were at 500. I thought you guys were right at 500, but I was wrong. You guys are 6-4 right now.
Yeah, we're 6-4, one some more, and yeah, we are. We're not gonna. We're not gonna. I mean, hopefully, we can continue this streak, make it
Mhm.
6 straight, and then 7 straight against the Bears, 8 straight against the Raiders. You know,
Mhm.
who knows? But this is a both good momentum to have. So
I'll be honest. As long as we play a really good game, like if we like what's the word I'm looking for? If we show that we're putting forth like good effort and I see things improving, I'd be okay with a loss. But if
you'd be
since
okay
it's
with
in
that.
Denver, I do want to get that win.
I
I
know
do
you
want to
want to
get
get
that
it,
win.
especially it's on prime time.
Yes,
Everyone's gonna
prime
be
time.
watching.
Oh,
You know, so I get it. I get it. And
mhm.
if if this weather is if there is some rain, because it weather is so unpredictable. Um, do you think if there is a little bit of rain, do you think that's gonna affect how both teams play by any chance?
I think it would play a little bit in favor of Denver solely because Denver is more of a run first team. So having that,
Mhm.
having that weather, it's gonna play. I think it'll just cause Denver to run a little more. But I don't think it'll. You know what? I'd be curious on how the field plays. I'd be curious on how the field is.
Field,
Like if it's
because it is a
slippery,
it is a
it is new.
new field, and there's a chance of rain. Right now I'm looking, it's like a 30 to 40% chance of rain. So it might, if there is rain, it might not be too much, but it could maybe just be just enough with the new field where, it is a grass field, so at least,
Mhm.
got that going. But
Can't complain about it.
hopefully got the good both teams got the good cleats
Yeah.
um on. So, because I don't want that, because with us, I remember last year when we played Green Bay, and in Green Bay at week 17, and we
Oh
just
yeah. I think I
we
remember that
our
game.
yeah, our coach, I don't know, I guess
Was it? Wait, was it
they
week 17? I thought
they highly recommended it, but they didn't, tell them, "Oh, you need to wear
was it week
these
17?
cleats."
I thought it was.
It was
That might
weeks.
have been. It was. I thought the Lions and Packers finished out the season.
Oh, no, no, remember there's 18 weeks now.
Oh, I'm thinking game 17. My bad.
Sorry, no, it's okay. It's okay. So, you know, but yeah, yeah, but
Mhm.
hopefully, I mean, it's put out, the new field put out for the bright lights, so I'm excited.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. I'm
So
just glad that our teams are not in the positions that I thought they were going to be at this point.
exactly, exactly. I mean, I didn't think we would be in this situation with the Josh
No.
Dobbs, of course. I didn't think that, of course, but because I thought this would be a Kirk Cousins Russell Wilson matchup.
Hmm.
But hey, we're here right now. I also didn't think we wouldn't have Justin Jefferson. I
I
did
actually
think
thought you
it
guys
would.
were going to get him back for this game. I was when I saw, I think it was Schefter said that he was not going to play. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's surprising.
for me, it's. I think, unlike the previous regime, in Zimmer and all that, this regime seems to be a lot more cautious, especially when they don't want Jefferson to re-aggravate that hamstring. It is on a new field, and there is, of course, that little chance of rain. I don't. I don't think they felt comfortable enough. They are ramping his workload more and more. I
Mhm.
think if anything, he'll come back next week against the Bears, and then we have the bye week, so at
Okay.
home. So
So my question for you is, so like, what's like, is JJ gonna get the big extension, or is it because going after Addison in the draft this past year? I mean, like, yeah, I just don't think you can let a guy like him go.
Mm,
Trust me, I know.
I
I would love to have that number one wide receiver on my team all the time.
yeah, I feel like we have to if everything. I feel like the perfect scenario. This is tough for me because because we also have the whole quarterback situation that we're probably gonna have to go through because I don't know what's gonna
That
happen.
too,
We don't know if
yeah.
Josh Dobbs. We don't know if the thing is that's gonna be a big part in it, and I think Jefferson wants to know who his quarterback is going to be
Mm-hmm.
next year. He has had all the success with Cousins. We have to
Mm-hmm.
see what that Dobbs to Jefferson connection is going to look like. If Jefferson feels comfortable enough with that, and Dobbs keeps playing good, we might just let Kirk. Unfortunately, out it would hurt, but we might
Mm-hmm.
let Kirk walk, and then use that money toward Jefferson. I mean, having a 1-2 punch like Jefferson and Addison, I mean, arguably could be one of the best. I think they're already one of the best wide receiver duos. I mean, they're up there with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle in some aspects. Um, I think Addison, even I mean, is as having a good rookie year, and I think he's just going to continue that rise. So I think having good wide receiver duo is important. And we have T.J. Hawkinson under contract for like at least
He's still
three to
on his
four
rookie
more years. I
contract,
don't
right?
remember.
Isn't-
No, we signed him to. No, we remember we signed him to that contract. We made him I'm not sure if he still is, but we made him just like buy a extra 100,000 or something like the highest paid tight end.
Gotcha.
Like just be like just yeah. So I think he so yeah we so you have a lot of great weapons out there. Um, and you have a good tight end and a good wide receiver duo. So it's okay, 4-year contract. So that's this year, and then, or no, this year is his. Oh no, this year is his. What do you call it? Fifth, fifth year option. Fifth.
Oh,
This is
so
his
he's
fifth year
still.
option.
So is he on his fifth year now? Or
Yeah, because he was with
okay,
the Lions, and then got traded. Like he was at the end of it. He's getting close to the end, and so the Lions actually gave him the 5th year option. So we have to sort of. I think we have to. Yeah, we
yeah, you have to honor
honor
that.
that.
So is
So
Jefferson? Does Jefferson have a? Did they get pick up his fifth year, or is
they
he
picked
currently
up
on
his
his
fifth
fifth?
year. No, he is not on his 5th year.
That's this upcoming season, correct?
He's on his uh um so Jefferson is on his last year of his contract this year, and then next year, yeah, is his 5th year
Okay.
option. So they're gonna
So do you
probably
guys
use him
think
for
you'll
the
make the
contract
extension this
extension.
off season, or will you try and
I
hold that
think
off till after it?
I think we got to sort of solve the quarterback situation
Mm-hmm.
first. So I think if anything, once we figure out who's going to be the quarterback next season, whether it's Kirk, whether it's Dobbs, I mean, maybe it's even you go with the rookie who for a short time, for those first couple drives actually looked okay against Atlanta. Um, whichever way they go with that. They have to solve that first before they deal with Jefferson, because quarterback is the most important position in football. You gotta know who your leader is, and then uh,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta go down from there. So I think you have to. I feel like it's almost hands down. Jefferson has earned it.
Yeah.
Um, he's proven himself as the best.
Yeah. I mean, if
wide
it wasn't you
receiver.
guys, it's definitely gonna be somebody else.
Right, right. Someone's gonna give him that contract. We did put up a contract for him during the offseason, like a highest paid wide receiver, but to be the highest paid wide
Mhm.
receiver, I think. But yeah, I think what I've been hearing along some sources, it's just like wanting to know um, who that quarterback is going to be
Who's gonna be
for
throwing them the
the
football?
future because he cares again as much with the money and all that. A big part of him he is his legacy, honestly. So whoever's going to be throwing him that ball, that's going to impact his legacy, and he wants to make his own mark, set records, which he has had some records over his years. So um, yeah, I think that's big parts in it. I don't know. I mean, I think we have been preparing for this moment to give him the money. I think it's just going to be um, if he's willing to just come back to us with whatever quarterback whoever's going to be leading. So yeah, at this point, I do not know who the quarterback's going to be. As I said, it could be Josh Dobbs at the end of this, depending. And unlike Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs actually has a fifth-year option. So that also plays into a factor that Kirk Cousins doesn't have any franchise. You can't do any franchise tag. No, franchise tag. That's what I meant. Not
Okay.
fifth year franchise tag with Josh Dobbs, not with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, you guys
Um,
can definitely save some money that way
yeah,
if you guys
like
decide to keep Dobbs. But
mhm.
I'm also out of curiosity, after the pretty, not the greatest of starts, was there any like talk about like going for drafting a guy, or was Hall kind of like he's got to be the guy, even if the season didn't turn around like it did?
I mean, I know we didn't, not a first rounder quarterback. Um, I think this was really a I think they thought that this could potentially be uh, a guy, their guy maybe of the future. I'm not sure how all in they were. Um, the big thing, another thought was maybe at the end of this season, um, we might be looking toward the quarterback of the maybe we do draft quarterback of the future, especially since of how bad we were doing. If we were still doing so bad, maybe we do have a chance to get a Kale. Well, I mean, maybe not Kale Williams, but a Drake May, maybe
Mm,
like that for next season. But now that's not really going to be much of the case
yeah.
as right now because we're on this. I mean, it's better to be. I like being in this situation right now. Keep on winning because that's the whole point in playing. You want to play to win the game. So um, yeah, I think it's just it's I think with Jaron Hall, it's just unfortunate that he got concussed against the Falcons. We never got to see what he could really do. I mean, he had
Mm,
one very good drive, almost led to a touchdown, try to run it in for a touchdown, and then gets slammed and gets in concussion protocol. Um, so I don't know. I feel like it's just unfortunate I feel like he's sort of I don't like to say this, but I feel like he's unless Josh Jobs balls starts to fall off a cliff, I don't think we're going to be seeing Jaren Hall
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of this season. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I think I I I don't. So as of right now, I don't see him probably um, being the guy. The guy, I think he definitely is going to probably stay and probably be the backup to either Kirk or Dobbs because I can't because we're not going to keep both Kirk and Dobbs next season. So, um, but maybe there's an outside chance, maybe in the distant future he could start. But if we draft a quarterback next year, then and we don't keep Kirk or Dobbs, and we just decide to go balls to the wall and draft a try to trade up and draft a quarterback. I mean, there's always that option too. But right now, I don't think that's likely, and I think we're going to be focusing on maybe I don't know, some type of position player. Offensive line. I mean, everything on the offense has been looking pretty good. I would just say just focus on the defense at that point. So which has been playing above average. But I credit a lot of that though to Brian Flores, which that's going to be a big change if he
Mm-hmm.
gets a head coaching job next season. And
That's true.
and I really, I as a, I mean, I wouldn't if we can maybe somehow. I just want to keep him. I feel like I just
Mm-hmm.
want to keep him for life. And I'm like, I just want to say to our owners, just pay him all the money, pay him all the money just to stay here as a defensive coordinator because I like this thing. I like Kevin O'Connell as a coach. He has gone through a lot of adversity this
Oh
season,
yes, he has.
and I definitely think he should be at least be a candidate for coach of the year. I know that's probably still going to go to Dan Campbell, which I mean he's resurrected this Lions team, but
Yeah, it could also
yeah, I
be. It could also be. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. Houston Texans.
oh D'Amico Ryan's
D'Amico Ryan's. I think he has a. I think he's
he has
and personally,
a shot as well.
I think he's the front runner for me. But
Yeah,
I
if they
definitely
make the
could see
playoffs, yeah.
if they can make the playoffs. I definitely could. I mean, Dable won it last year, so I mean
Yeah,
he was a first
you know
year.
what? You've converted me a little bit because I feel like with the line, in my opinion, I feel like with the Lions, I feel like a lot of them expected, like, I don't, maybe not this good. I mean, they're going to be good.
Mm,
So I feel like with us, they still expected maybe like, compete for a wild card or whatever. Of course, I know with the adversity this season, wasn't expected, but still bounces out to the same, wild card contending. But with the Texans, rookie quarterback who could honestly win MVP.
yeah, he could.
Um, he could. I think he at this point he should if they make the playoffs. Um, so yeah, I think if they make the playoffs, yeah, give CJ Stroud MVP and give D'Amico Ryans uh, head coach of the year. I mean, you take a team who was just one of the worst teams in the NFL to now a playoff contending team, and especially if they win their division, that would definitely be the biggest of turnarounds. So, because I still think they can compete for the AFC South.
Oh yeah, they are.
Uh, and
The Jags, they
who
just
knows?
gotta continue to see if they can, they see if they can bounce back tomorrow after that big loss to the 49ers. So I mean, that Texans been the biggest, I think, biggest surprise this whole throughout the whole NFL because nobody thought they were going to be good. They thought, they were thinking just Stroud, he'll show flashes, but not flashes to this degree where, dude's legitimately arguably the front runner for MVP right now. Because I can't
Yeah,
think of anybody else right off the top of my head that's played
no,
well. Maybe Tua, maybe.
Tua.
but
Yeah,
maybe.
I know. I see Alex. I
I
see
saw
Alex.
I saw
Alex
Pizzle in
Mack.
there. I was like, I gotta show Alex some love.
Yeah, I think
Plus, they dropped
if
70 on us, so I kind of have to say it by obligation.
right, I still want to see the Dolphins beat a beat a good team.
There you
Still,
go.
I feel like that's the thing that's going to hold not just the not just the Dolphins back in general, but Tua for winning MVP is beating that good
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
So I mean, they came close against the Chiefs in in Germany, um, but still they still haven't really got that win against a good team. And their schedule. I don't know if there's mm, um any. Let me see. I don't know. Let's see. Jets, Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Titans, Jets, Cowboys. Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
If they like the Cowboys on Christmas Eve or the following week on New Year's Eve against the Ravens, hey, that's that. Then then you can, then hey, I'll consider to a for um MVP, but I still think right now it is CJ Stroud.
Hmm.
I was also gonna maybe say the Bills game at the end of the year, but I don't know. I don't
Well,
know if
we'll
the
have to see
Bills.
how they. I'm kind of obligated to root for the Bills now because I want them to actually look good by the end of the year. Be like, hey, we beat them.
We beat them, yes, yes, and you know, I can say, hey, we beat the we beat the
Yeah, you guys
we
beat the
beat that
49ers.
49ers.
That's definitely like your best win of the year, easily.
Exactly,
But you
exactly.
got a chance. You'll have two chances against the Lions
Yes,
later down the road, and that could definitely be the that
that's
that'll
that's the big
that'll
one.
definitely be the a big game if the Vikings can keep this success up.
I know. I'm excited but nervous for
Hmm.
that. So um, we shall see. Um, but I always just like take it one game at a time.
Yep.
Um, I didn't think, you guys would be this hot right now. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this is not a pushover game. This is not like, next week against the Bears or anything. This is actually like, hey, we gotta lock down, we gotta focus, and and beat this team who also is having a lot of success
Yep.
right now. So
And that
yeah.
I would say the past 2 weeks for us were definitely confidence builders. I mean,
Hmm.
like our game against the Chiefs, we've exercised some demons. Last week
Mm,
was, I think, it was like, hey, we can actually win ugly games because we usually lose
mhm.
those ones. This week
Right.
for us, I think it's like, okay, like we can we can do something now. Like we got a chance at
Yes.
like finally putting a winning culture in this building that hasn't been here since we won the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. This is, I think, a big game. This is definitely a big game for both our teams, and
Hmm.
you guys can continue your momentum that you're building, and we can.
Hmm.
I think finally, I think for us, this will swing momentum in our favor heavily. I feel
Hmm.
like we got a little momentum,
Hmm.
but I just need to continue to see it happen, right?
Yeah. So would
Like,
so would you say this game means more like, who needs this to win more? Like us or you guys?
ooh,
Because I know there's like different meanings to this. If we're just
yeah,
looking, I mean, if we're just looking at playoffs, I mean, um, I mean, I don't know if that's something that you're looking towards to right now, but maybe that could still keep you in the race potentially. Of course, for us, that would still solidify that. Well, actually, the thing is, if even if we lose this week, we're going to be the 7th seed regardless, because
Mhm.
the 8th seed, it has only 4 wins, and we have 6 wins. So for us, it doesn't really matter as much, in my opinion. But I
I
would
would
still like to.
I would say for you guys, it's the win for you guys matters because it keeps the momentum for you guys
Mhm.
going. I think
Yeah,
for us, it would be like it's sort of like a culture changing win almost in a way.
I see.
Because like because like I said earlier, we've this team only knows how to lose. Like they don't know
Mhm.
what's like how to win games, right? Like I said, like us beating the Chiefs 2 weeks ago was exercising some demons. And last
Right.
week, or I should say, it was actually 3 weeks ago, but last week, was like okay, like you guys know, like we can know how to win, but I think this week it's like, all right, how do we sustain that success and let's actually change how we feel in this building because like we got these 2 games, but hi Rachel.
Yes, you
We
exercise your demon against the Chiefs, I
yeah.
would say.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, after losing 16 straight, you know, finally getting that win just kind of feels like finally we got it. But I think this is a continuous. We just need to get the win, and it just kind of feels like okay, now we kind of know how to sustain some success because we'll be on a 4-game win streak if we beat you guys, and it just kind of like the whole season felt like it turned around where after that Miami loss, like if you go back and watch interviews of the players, it was like someone died. It literally felt like that.
Yeah.
But no, I think for you guys, it's definitely if you guys win, that momentum is huge for a playoff run. And it could possibly,
Exactly.
that might lead to a victory against a certain kitty team that happens to be blue.
I would love that.
And
I
I
would
know you
love
would.
that. I want that. I want that so bad. I want that to happen so bad because hi
Here, but
Kirsten.
this is what I will say though. I don't I would say the Vikings. I'd have no animosity against the Vikings, but I have to root for Detroit. They've had it so bad for so long.
I know.
So just because I say you guys have momentum, don't mean.
And you also did say we had a chance to win the North, right?
Yeah, you guys still have that chance. Even if you lose both games to Detroit, you guys still have that chance. Obviously you need Detroit to lose, and hey, you got to be rooting for us in a few weeks.
Mhm.
So
Of
definitely,
course.
I think this is a huge test game for both of us. So
We
I'm
can
excited.
definitely
I'm just what I'll be honest. I'm just
make it
excited
happen.
for the fact that we have that chance to
Mhm.
get back to 500 and just kind of just have a chance to be winners again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be a fun time. And I know. See, I don't know how I was feeling like there about when you beat the Bills because I'm like, okay, momentum. Like there's this thing called like moment. Like I know Kirsten wanted you guys to win for the momentum, but for me, I'm like, okay, maybe if you win, maybe there'll be like emotion, like some type of emotional hangover,
yeah,
you know. Because that's
yeah,
was my mindset going, okay, you I mean, especially after thinking you lost the game, you won, and then you win, because I know all about emotional hangovers. Hey, when we beat the Bills last year, and then we got stomped by the Cowboys the following week, or we have the Minneapolis Miracle game, and then we get
Yes.
bounced by the Eagles in the following game. So there is that those emotional hangover games. I mean,
Yeah,
that.
if you want to talk about an emotional hangover, last week was one for me. Oh,
Mm-hmm,
I felt every emotion possible through a single game. I was so
mm-hmm,
excited when we were getting all those turnovers. I got extremely mad that we couldn't put that game away. And then I was
mm-hmm,
like, we're blowing it. We're blowing it. And then euphoria after the 12 man on the field penalty.
mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, I've never experienced that many emotions in one game. And it's
Yeah,
just wow. Like it was a roller coaster. Because I was honestly, I if you followed how I was tweeting during that game, I was like, you know what? Even if we lose this game, I'm pretty happy. We were competing with the Bills, and then yeah, it was a roller coaster, but we got the W. That's all that matters. That was one of those
mm-hmm.
games. I was just like, oh, I was just like, just get the W. I don't care how. It's our Super Bowl, even though our Super Bowl was 2 weeks earlier against the Chiefs. So it was just,
Uh,
oh man.
Hi, Holly.
Hi,
That
Holly.
just perfect timing, Holly. Um, yeah, yeah. I feel that. Like, if we didn't beat the Packers for like
Oh,
16 straight games, that would be and finally won. Oh man, that yeah.
mm,
But I don't
yeah.
have that, with any team in particular. That I mean, the one team that's I mean, I feel like now we're sort of ever since '09, like for example, the Saints, we're getting their number
Oh
back now.
man. Talk about a
So whether
rivalry that isn't in your division.
oh,
It just
that is
it just feels
yeah.
like it's just your guys' games. Again, that 2009 game, Minneapolis Miracle, man,
Hmm.
that's just
And that wild card game that we had.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah,
those are some games.
they have been some games.
So yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, maybe, and we'll see. But the one team that's still, right now, if I had to pick a team that's like the Chiefs that are stuck in the side of my me right now, it's oh yes, that team, that
Oh,
that
the
that team,
Eagles?
the Eagles.
Really?
Oh, the Eagles. I just, in terms of my list of hated teams, Packers 1, Saints 2, Eagles 3.
Really?
Eagles, yeah, because I don't really care. The Bears never, I know some Viking fans will put the Bears maybe up at 3 or whatever, but I've never really had any, any bad, blood with the Bears, especially not the Lions. But that could change in the next year or two. Um, but yeah, I mean, with the Eagles, I mean, a lot of that does stem from that NFC Championship game, but it's just like you can't beat them. We just
Mm,
can't beat them. Even the Thursday night game, we had it, but we
oh
kept
yeah.
fumbling it away. We kept
Yeah, I
fumbling it
forgot
away
that.
4 times. That Jefferson fumble was the worst one out of the
Oh.
4, but we could have won that game. I mean, and we would be in a much different situation right now. I mean, that goes for all of our losses, to be honest, because all the losses have been one score. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, the Chargers, and Kansas City, all one score games. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Man. Yeah, I would say
But
a I would say like a team for me that's non-divisional that I've absolutely hated for like my whole time has been the Browns. It has always been the Browns.
Mm,
I mean, if you
really,
know
the
the history between
Browns?
our two teams, you'll probably know why.
Oh,
Because they had,
was that the? Was that the? I'm trying to think. Was that Bottlegate?
no, was not
Like
Bottlegate.
where they threw the bottles,
Bottlegate, I
the
believe
bottle
that
on
was the
the.
Browns and Jags, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, we had the
I don't even.
obviously we had the drive. Um, John
Oh,
always
oh my gosh.
we had
Now I
that.
feel so stupid now. Yes, the drive. The drive.
Following season, we had
Yeah.
there was the fumble. Now I say this coming from the team who's been on the good end of those, but I don't know why. I just
Hmm.
never liked them. Never liked them.
I mean, of course, there's
But
especially
there's
these
also
last couple of years a better
because
reason not to like them.
Schottenheimer was the head coach for them, and he went to both Kansas City and to then was San Diego. So I think that's just old, like just knowing the history of that is probably why. But I don't know. I've just always just every time I see the Browns, I'm just like I want to see them lose. And you know, Schottenheimer, I've respected him. He's kind of like the Bill Belichick of us. I respected the hell out of that guy, but man, I just did not like him.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
But
that.
yeah.
I get that.
I would say now had that thorn in our side. I mean, ooh, I don't even know if that's anybody recently, but
Yeah, I can't
yeah,
think
I
of
can't
that.
really think outside like Kansas City. It was just them.
Like the Raiders or the Chargers, you don't have any like
Well,
that.
I mean, obviously the Raiders, because that's pretty much like our biggest rival. We just do not like the Raiders, which you know,
Really?
it's
I thought it would be
divisional.
more the why not? I always thought it would be the Chiefs
It
or the bigger.
see, and Rachel can attest to this, but before the Chiefs were completely beating us constantly, it was the opposite, where the
Oh
Chiefs
yeah.
could not beat us for a long time, and that was back, you know, that was even with Tebow. That was back to the Tebow days, and they just couldn't really beat us until until obviously Alex Smith came along, and then the Chiefs. And actually, it was really when Reed showed up, Andy Reid, and that's when really this rivalry started shifting. And see, she
Hmm.
can agree. Man, it'll be interesting. And actually, according to LQ, it looks like Alexander Madison will be playing tomorrow.
Oh, Alexander Masson is playing tomorrow. Oh, yep. I just looked at my tab on Twitter.
Okay,
Yeah, Alexander
that'll
Masson
be
will be playing tomorrow. That's very interesting. I was not expecting that. Honestly, I won't lie. I'm a little. I don't like to. I see. I don't like to be rude. Um, I want it to get. I want Madison to do well, of course.
yeah.
And I hate all that we, especially after that week 2 game, all the hate he got.
Oh yeah,
I'm just, yeah, with all that. But if I'm being like complete, like on an honest level, he hasn't produced the way I wanted him. I was hoping he would this season. When we got Cam Akers, when he was in me, he did great. I'm like, I really wanted Cam Akers to be RB1. I think Alexander Madison can be good in the receiving game and as a rotation back. I just don't see him as a starting running back. And then of course Cam Akers goes down. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
and I
That
also
one
sort of
hurt.
yeah, and I was excited to see what Ty Chandler would do against you guys because he was going to be the probably the running back one, but um, who knows? But I still think with this coaching staff, I still think they're going to be cautious with Madison, especially with the concussion.
Probably
So Madison might make the start, or he will just be rotate, not be used a whole lot. Ty Chandler has. I liked how he ran against New Orleans. Of course, it's just very small sample size, but um, yeah, I'm just want. I just for us, I just want to see a good running game. Um, besides Josh Dobbs,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I want because the offense, besides the running game, has been great. I just want to see a better, more consistent running game. And
I
yeah.
say if it's gonna be one team you might be able to do that on, it's gonna be us. Our run defense isn't great, but it
Hmm.
ain't. I mean, it's not as terrible, but that's definitely, I would say, defensively, one of our biggest weaknesses is the run defense. So if you guys
Oh yeah.
can get running, because I mean, remember last week against the Bills, like Cook was when
Yeah.
after fumbling that he was mad. He was getting chunk yardage, and
Yeah.
was frustrating. But
He was flying down the field. I mean, even when
yes,
he fumbles, he it just he gets a rebound and just keeps
mm-hmm.
on running.
Oh
So
yeah,
um yeah, so hopefully we can get the run game going, whether it is some type of mix of Madison and Ty Chandler. So that who is um I he's rookie if I'm yeah, no, not rookie. Rookie last year, second
yep,
year running
yep.
back. Never mind. So that's gonna be interesting. I mean, something to look forward to, especially given conditions and all that. It could be maybe more of a run, a run, more of a run heavy for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if depending on field conditions and all that. Yeah, and hopefully we can stop the run. That's something. I mean, we've done better as of late. Um, the passing game can be on and off, because when we blitz, it can be it's you're sort of going all in, and so we can give up big chunk plays when we blitz, or we can get to the quarterback. So I mean, if Russ can get it out to Sutton, Judy, or whoever, yeah, yeah, very quickly. I think you guys can definitely take advantage of that. In terms of stopping Javante Williams, I mean, Jordan Hicks is now on IR, but we brought in Anthony Barr back, so hey, we got bringing the band back
Yeah,
together. Yeah, so um, hopefully he can provide some s- some
some
type of pressure or some type of block for the run defense. So
yep.
that's really what I'm hoping. I'm not expecting him to be Pro Bowl Anthony Barr, but that
Mm-hmm.
when he was in his early years, I'm just expecting him to just be where he needs to be, whether it's in rotation or an 2 3, I mean, like a 3 down linebacker. So yeah, yeah, but I'm the most exciting matchup though. I'm looking forward to Jordan Addison and Pat Surtain.
That
Yeah,
should be fun to watch.
that would be fun to watch. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So um, yeah, wow. So that's gonna be a fun time. I do wish you the best of luck on Sunday
Yep.
night. So yeah, so since we're getting close to 2 hours, I guess you can just tell the people where they can find you, follow you, whatever. I can put them after the video's done in the description, or pin them in the comments section after this is done.
Yeah. So you can follow me on both Twitter and YouTube. At both MechaFishMan, just like how it's written right here. Yeah. Just if you want me complain about listen to me complain about the Broncos during the game, you can definitely follow me there. That and yeah, you know, I'm hoping to start making some videos soon on my own channel. I'm looking to start doing some content for myself. I know I've been doing work for other some other YouTubers.
Yeah, I know. We know. I know.
I know you know, but yeah, that's doing some editing work for a certain other Bronco fan, but
yes,
yeah,
yes.
I think we all
At least
know,
you can
and
get in that. You can get into that mind. You can get in that mindset. But I think your mind, and Brandon's mind are very different.
oh yeah, it's very different. It's very
Very
different, but
different.
you know what? Sometimes that guy makes sense.
That,
I mean, number one and number two on his power ratings. I mean, he makes a good point. He makes some good points. But no, I love Perna. There's sometimes I'll be honest. I'm like, he plays it up for the joke, obviously, but like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, Perna, don't say that. Don't say that. You're gonna make us.
Do you ever find yourself ever getting so like in a game that you get into that like Brandon Perna mindset at all, or
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Because like there are times I'm just like I think almost the exact same way Perna thinks sometimes. But
exactly.
But yeah. It's kind of weird how sometimes I'm just like, I don't agree with him, but at the end of the day, I do. It's like he says sometimes he says the same things I think. And I'm like, that's why I love him. That's why I love the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully so that means if we win, we're going to be number one on Perna's power rankings next week.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that is not going to happen because I just know how this guy thinks.
Okay.
You guys will be in heaven if you guys win. You guys will be in heaven.
Yeah, Vikings win 21-17. I said 23-20. So
I think I'll be right around the score of whoever wins and loses. So
yeah. Absolutely. But I think Tom would just lose his mind if we won.
Oh, yeah,
Vikings at number one. So
yeah. So, oh man.
But anyways, it was honestly a pleasure to have you on. And however this game turns out, I mean, one of our winning streaks is gonna be broken at some point. So but I just hope that besides this game, you actually do have a good rest of the way, including that game against the Lions. Yeah, so I mean, I hope you can get at least close to that your winning record. Hope. I definitely think that's still in the realm of possibilities, maybe hovering around that 8-9, 9-8. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was a pleasure to be able to talk to you about this game. It's nice to talk football with somebody that isn't, a chat on the side of a live stream. It's just nice. And hopefully I can, jump on here some other time as well.
Of course. We don't play each other that often. So
Yep.
take these enjoy these moments. Like I had
Yep.
Rachel on earlier, and now I got you. So it was definitely uh, a pleasure doing this. So
Mhm.
um, yes, we're coming. We're
Yeah.
coming. We're coming. We're coming.
I think it was more your
So
comment about our team beating the Lions, but
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I wish I could say the same for you because I would love at some point, even if it wasn't you, whether it's the Chargers or the Raiders, to change things up a bit to to just I mean, I mean, I like I mean, Mahomes and Travis, and they're great and all that. It's hard. It's just tough seeing the same team win the division year after year after year after year. I know you guys did that. I mean,
well, I
I
mean that
think did
was
you guys
to
do?
be fair. To be fair, that used to be us where we were
Yeah.
winning the division. I mean, we won it what 5 straight seasons before
Some
Kansas City started winning them, but
so
it's different now because you got Mahomes. It was back when we had Manning when he had like 4 years left, but now
yeah,
it's obviously the Chiefs. But it is what it
right.
is.
It is what it is.
Hey, you guys had
If
it. Okay, Rachel, you guys had it for a few too many years. Okay, it's about time someone else gets a turn. Okay. All right. Except we can
yeah.
agree. Let's just be fair. Let's make sure it's not the Raiders. It's not the Raiders. Nobody wants to see
So
them win.
so we're all in on the Chargers. That's what I'm hearing.
Nah, I mean they can have it once. They've had to deal with Staley for a year, but it's and but just give it. It's a certain orange team that says
Mm,
just
mm,
not the Raiders. I do not like the Raiders.
yes. I think that yes, I can agree with Carson on Chargers have.
That game could be interesting. That game could be interesting.
I think the only reason that game is interesting is because Brandon Staley's the coach. So
That and
he yeah.
it's I'm curious how Jordan Love will play against the Chargers defense.
Oh, that too. That too.
So
But yeah, it's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be a good one as well. So yeah, but we shall see what happens tomorrow in all the games. But of course, most importantly, this primetime matchup.
mhm.
Even though a lot of people are going to be waiting for Monday Night Football, which is honestly, can't deny
Mhm.
that's the star. So, um, yeah, uh, but yeah, um, yeah. I know I'm prolonging this, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Appreciate appreciate you coming on. Appreciate everyone coming in and watching this. So yeah. Um this is yeah, 2 hours. So
Yeah.
this has been yeah, yeah. This has been Adam. That is wait, am I this way?
You're
This
pointing the right
way.
way.
Good. Yeah, that's MechaFishMan. Um yes. Yes, I'll have the links to Twitter and YouTube after this video. So make sure go follow him. It's been Adam, also known as Miss Vikings Man 28, and as always, Skull.